hang on, Dave Redford, can you hear me?
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
you've not started the video part.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Hey.
Got you. So just Chris to come in. We've got, I think that's
Morning,
about
Chris.
everything this morning. So good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Morning, Chris.
And we'll start off with John's news of the group.
Oh, news of the group. Well, the group I'd like news of is the Beatles. You don't hear much of them nowadays, do you? There's not a lot going on in the group. Everybody seems to be okay. I mean, Anita's recovered from the shock of being invited to Keith's garden party, which caused her to lose her balance. But after medication, like half a bottle of gin, she's all right now. Little Dave, who were brutally attacked by the police last week, or at least his gate was, everything's calmed down a bit, but the police aren't responding to his requests for compensation or gate repair. They're just not responding to him, despite the fact that he's contacted the number they gave him. So that's ongoing.
What was it all about, John?
What was it all about? Somebody had stolen a white van in Ripley, and the police, the Derbyshire police, had chased him up the M1. They finished up on Woodhouse Road, as most criminals do, as you know. And the van crashed into the police car. The fella jumped out, ran onto the nearest estate, which is Dave's, climbed over his gate, broke the top off his gate, ran down his garden, jumped over the fence at the bottom of his garden with a 20-foot drop. And then the police, not wanting any niceties like that, just kicked Dave's gate in, that had got 4 bolts on it, wrecked it. Dave finally managed to track them down. He saw the flashing lights, and it wasn't E.T. And they gave him a number and a crime number to contact for compensation, and he's been phoning that number, and he's got through and been promised a reply, and he's not had a reply. So that's the latest. What happened to the fella, I don't know. Hopefully he did some damage to his ankles, but I don't know. But that's ongoing. Visited Ed on Saturday, and he was in good form. He had a few songs, did a medley of his hits, and it's supposed to be half an hour visit, but they forgot about us, and how they could forget about us when we were singing at tops of our voices, I don't know. But so we saw him for an hour. So all's well with the world.
Good stuff. Right.
Well done, John.
We'll move swiftly on and to LOL's news of the week.
Oh, dear. News of the week, LOL's news of the week, news of the week.
Right. A little bit of Speedway to begin with. It was announced last Tuesday that with great reluctance and disappointment, the Professional League Speedway in the UK has been cancelled for this year. After promotion to the Premiership, Sheffield Tigers have signed Danish triple world champion Nicky Pedersen and Australian sensation Jack Holder. Co-owner Damien Bates and team manager Simon Stead will talk to all the riders to establish whether they can bring them back together again for next year. And if you're interested, Nicky Pedersen won the World Championship in 2003, 2007 and 8. Have we any Speedway fans on the Zoom today?
Used to be in the 60s. In the 60s, used to go and watch him.
Yeah,
Jim Bob, with Jim Airy and all that.
Yeah, Rick Clive Pendlebury.
Ivan Major's well known to this group, isn't he?
He is, yeah. Great boxer.
Yeah.
Great boxer.
Okay.
Clive Featherby.
Clive Featherby.
Well, we'll carry on with Rugby Union. Now, the Rugby Union
Wire.
Football Union, pardon?
Dougie Wire.
Dougie Wire. That's right.
He was the main man, I think, weren't he?
Yeah, yeah.
Billy Baines.
Wired for sound.
Billy Baines. Little Billy Baines.
Yeah.
Right. Rugby Union. The Rugby Football Union has announced the death of former England winner Mike Clement at the age of 69. Sleman played 31 times for England, winning the Five Nations Grand Slam in 1980, and also toured South Africa with the British and Irish Lions that year. Born in Liverpool, he was educated at St Edward's College in Liverpool and St Luke's College, before joining Liverpool FC Rugby Club, which he never left. His final game for the club after 16 seasons was the last ever game played as Liverpool FC in 1986, before the merger with St Helens against Preston Grasshoppers. Mike scored a hat-trick of tries in the win before spending the next 3 years as Liverpool St Helens' first appointed coach. He taught physical education part-time at a school in Crosby, and was also the exhibition leader of the Duke of Edinburgh Award. Sir Billy Beaumont, ex-England captain, called Sleman a great sportsman. Did you ever come across him, Ian, when you in your days at Liverpool?
Thank you for asking. Not only came across him, I played with him. I was at Liverpool at the time, and we played right on the riverfront at a place called St Michael's. And Mike Sleman was one of the quietest, most unassuming guys I've ever met. Also at the time, a very young Fran Cotton playing at loosehead prop before he went to Loughborough University, and the rest, as they say, is history. Later on, be quiet. Later on, a chap called Mike Beast. Do you remember Mike?
Oh, way to talk to your wife.
That's my wife, the damn sight improvement. Get off your calls, woman. Mike Beast, who joined shortly after, and I don't think they ever played together, but Mike Beast then went down to Bath and got a county cap for Somerset before going to play for England. So Liverpool, the other thing about Mike Sleman, he went to teach at Merchant Taylors College in Crosby. Now, Merchant Taylors to Crosby was like my school, Liverpool College, to Liverpool. The irony is that all the Waterloo players were teachers at my school, like Alan Ashcroft, the British Lion, Dave Winthrop, but all the Liverpool players were teachers at Merchant Taylors. It was an oddity. One of them was Mike Sleman. I keep calling her my little sister, but my younger sister lives in Formby, and she texted me when she heard Mike Sleman had died, fairly young, to be honest. Don't know what the cause was, but he was well known within the community as a very gentleman, but a very, very fast winger in his day. And it's not surprising to me that people like Sir Billy Bowman gave him a very good tribute and accolade, because he was so highly thought of.
I think it was pneumonia, Ian.
Sorry?
I read his obituary in the paper, and I think it was pneumonia he died of.
Was that COVID related?
I don't think so.
Right. Such a shame, these young men. Oh,
He's 69.
I keep thinking of them as young men, but we're all getting that much old. But you got Alan Ashcroft, the generation before, fabulous British Lion, lost both legs through diabetes. It's life can be wicked, can't it? You know, take these people away. But thank you for letting me say that, Noel.
Okay, welcome in. Right, just a little bit more. The men's and women's Six Nations could be completed this year after World Rugby recommended a new temporary international window. It would be between 24th of October and 5th of December for the Northern Hemisphere sides. And in the Southern Hemisphere, it has been recommended that the 2020 Rugby Championship be played in a single country from the 7th of November to the 12th of December. The dates will have to be approved by the World Rugby Council sometime this week. Okay, a little bit on boxing. Former heavyweight.
Can I just come in a second, Lol?
Go on then.
Is it true also that they're introducing a new tournament with 8 teams instead of the Autumn International?
Something like that.
The 4 home four home countries, Italy and France, Fiji and Japan.
That's correct.
2 groups of 4. I don't know the structure.
But I don't know.
Very good.
But you're right there anyway. Anyway, back to boxing. Now, former heavyweight champion Mike Tyson will return to the boxing ring for an exhibition fight against ex-4-weight world champion Roy Jones Jr. The bout is scheduled to take place on the 12th of September in Los Angeles. Now, 54-year-old Tyson last fought professionally in 2005 when he was beaten by Irishman Kevin McBride in what was his 6th defeat in 58 career contests. Fellow American, 51-year-old Jones has not fought since beating Scott Simon in February 2018. So that'll be certainly heavyweight, I can imagine. I can't imagine what type of shape he's going to be in. Can you?
It'll be a bit like Ed and Eric having a fight.
Right, little bit on snooker. Now, 15-year-old Ben Mertens from Belgium became the youngest player in snooker history to win a qualifying match at the World Championship when he beat James Cahill 6-2 last Wednesday in Sheffield. Now, Cahill caused a shock in last year's first round when he beat 5-time winner Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Yeah.
In the second qualifying match, Mertens lost 6-4 to Sam Baird to end his hopes of playing at the Crucible this year. But he might be one to watch out for in the future, this lad.
Yeah.
Now, Formula One. The Formula One have cancelled the United States, the Mexican and the Brazilian Grand Prix as a result of the coronavirus crisis in America. As infection rates are rising in the 3 countries, Formula One bosses believe it will be irresponsible to race there. Instead, there will be 3 further races in Europe. These are Germany's Nürburgring, Imola in Italy, and a Formula One debut for Portugal's Portimao track. Anything on that? No?
No, is the Brazilian Grand Prix on a triangle track?
I don't get that one.
No.
No.
Yeah, I got lucky.
Yellow card for that. I think it's a yellow card for that, Keith.
Sorry.
Very sexist.
Okay. Good
I've
on
got
that.
some editing to
Just
do.
about-
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Portugal, I thought Portugal was persona non grata or whatever it is. Have we got a problem with Portugal and the infection rate there? So how come they're going to do a Grand Prix there?
No, it's
Oh,
only
it's
us that
always
have problems.
It's a debut for the track anyway, so okay. Athletics. Now the 2020 Gateshead Grand Prix has been cancelled because the venue renovations cannot be completed in time. The event had already been postponed from the 16th of August to 12th of September because of COVID-19. A statement from the Gateshead Council and British Athletics reads, "Time has ultimately defeated us to ensure that international athletes can compete in a safe manner and to their full potential." A little bit on horse racing. Enable, ridden by Frankie Dettori, won a record 3rd King George Stakes at Ascot, and in doing so, the mare became the oldest winner since 1998. With only 3 runners in the race, it was the smallest field in the history of the King George Stakes. Now, if you want to know, he won it in 2017, 19, and last week. Okay. And we'll nip on to a bit of cricket now. This will interest Chris, if he doesn't already know. A lasting memorial to a West Indies legend is to be created in the town where he played league cricket. Test batsman Sir Everton Weekes, who died on the 1st of July, played for backup in Lancashire between 1949 and 1958. A motion to create a tribute to the cricketer was passed by Rossendale Council on the 15th of July. Councillor Peter Steen, who proposed the motion, said he would like to see the town's new market square named after Sir Everton. Were you aware of that, Chris?
I wasn't. No, Lol. I'm indebted to you. So he was very famous in Bacup because he was basically the only black person there, with all the pressure that brought upon him in his youth, and he was just utterly brilliant and won everyone round to him as a person, and was instrumental in sort of bringing cricket at a high level to all the people in that area. His league records are astonishing. I think he averaged over 90 for the games he played. It was astonishing. But as a man, if you think about it, what he did, basically isolated in England as a younger man, was quite astonishing. Thank you very much for that. I'll follow that up. I'm really interested.
Okay. Right. Sunshine, the Cracker Willow on Leather, an obligatory rain break, and 1,000 spectators were all part of the scene in Surrey's crowd pilot friendly with Middlesex at the Oval. England's first taste of live spectator sport since the COVID lockdown was a definite success, according to Surrey Chief Executive Richard Gould. Fans were spaced by alternate rows and 2-seat gaps between groups in 2 stands. Only Surrey members were allowed in, and they had 10,000 applications for the 1,000 seats available. Now, the Wisden Trophy, which is awarded to the winner of a test series between England and West Indies, is to be replaced by the Richards Botham Trophy, named after Sir Vivian Richards and Sir Ian Botham. The Wisden Trophy was first awarded in 1963 to commemorate the 100th edition of Wisden Cricketer's Almanac. It is presented to the victorious team as a symbol of its victory, but then returns to the MCC Museum at Lord's. The team to have won it most times, the West Indies, with 14 titles. Most runs scored, Brian Lara, 2,983. Most wickets, Curtly Ambrose, 164. Now we come to the current test. With the 4th day washed out in the 3rd and final test against West Indies, England needed to rely on better weather today and hopefully take the 8 wickets needed for victory. There's only one candidate for player of the match, Stuart Broad, who has starred with both bat and ball for the home team. With 499 dismissals, Broad needs just 1 more wicket to join the 500 club, the 4th pace bowler to do so. Now, the 6 players have taken 500 more or more wickets. Can anybody name them? Which 6 players?
Mullaritharan.
Yeah.
Shane
Yes.
Warne.
Shane Warne, yes.
Glenn McGrath.
Glenn McGrath.
Jimmy Anderson.
Anderson, yeah.
Jimmy Anderson.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Michael Holder.
Walsh.
Courtney Walsh, did somebody say?
Yeah.
Yeah. Courtney Walsh,
Michael
519.
Holding.
You've got them all. Glenn McGrath got 500.
Michael Holding only took 249.
Thank you.
All right, I'll just read out how many they took. Courtney Walsh, 519. Glenn McGrath, 563. Anil Kumble, 619. Shane Warne, 708. And way in front, Mullaritharan with 800.
Don't count.
No.
Don't count.
I agree, Chris.
Don't count.
I agree.
Well,
No.
because he was a chucker.
Yeah.
He's got a funny accent, I know that.
Funny.
Because you
Changed
were
the rules
chucking
to
it.
accommodate him.
Yeah.
Hang on, Paul. Yes, Paul.
Chucker-Litharan.
Paul. Big Paul.
Yeah, I was
Allegedly.
staying with cricket. I'll probably kick myself for when I know the answer. What does ODI stand for?
One Day International.
Yeah, I'm going to kick myself. Thank you.
Where can you do it for you? Keith will pop down. Keith will be round to do that for you. Size
Yeah,
12.
but
Chew.
we'd have all gone round at the table and had a kick if we'd have known.
Right, we'll finish on football.
Obvious.
Hello.
No, just breaking news. The covers are off. Anderson is exercising in the outfield, and Stuart Broad is doing some practicing bowling in the outfield. So it looks like the play is about to start.
So it's promising.
Yeah.
Yeah. The covers are off, but that's just Ian's bedroom. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not go that far. Now, on football, now Barnsley, with only 9 points from the first 18 games of the season, stays the biggest recovery to avoid relegation from the second tier of English football since Plymouth Argyle in 1964. Manager, Austrian Gerhard Struber, said it was the biggest job he has done in football to keep Barnsley in the Championship. Jamie Vardy with 23 goals.
Whoa, might not happen.
It might not happen yet.
Might not happen.
Why? What's happening?
Oh yeah, well, with the appeal by Wigan, you mean?
Yeah.
Wigan.
Yeah, if Wigan's appeal goes through, then it won't happen.
Yeah, but then what if Wednesday get relegated?
That's it.
They go down.
Yeah, then it will happen.
Yes, Brian.
I don't
Yes,
want to be seen to be making mischief, but it would be quite funny as a Unitedite if Wigan's appeal was upheld and Barnsley were then relegated, but they were then saved by Sheffield Wednesday getting relegated by a points deduction.
Yep.
That's the reason why I've always hated referees.
Well, those two Scottish.
Only kidding, Brian.
The two Scottish clubs who appealed, they lost it, didn't they? When they got relegated.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's as things stand at the moment. Now, Jamie Vardy, with 23 goals, has become the oldest winner of the Premier League's Golden Boot Award at the age of 33. Now, in 2012, he won the Golden Boot with another club. Does anybody know who?
Fleetwood.
Yes, that's correct. Any idea how many goals he got?
63.
No, something like 36.
98.
No, you've got to go a bit lower. You're in the 30s.
31.
31's correct.
31.
Yes. Yeah. This annoys me, and it'll rank.
You could have scored that many in that division, couldn't you, Keith?
I did do.
Yeah, exactly.
Dreams. Yeah.
Amateur.
Now, this next item is going to rankle with Keith. Aston Villa escaped relegation by 1 point. If the Blades' goal that wasn't at Villa Park had counted, then Villa would have gone down on goal difference and Bournemouth stayed up.
Yeah, that's disgusting. No, absolutely disgusting.
Do you know there's been no mention of that anywhere?
Yeah, there has.
I've not seen it myself.
Match of the day featured the goal.
Yeah, this morning it's just been on Sky that Bournemouth are either suing or whatever Hawkeye over it.
You can't blame them.
Quite right.
There's a lot of money in it. A lot of money.
What everybody forgets is, everybody's saying that had that goal been allowed, United would have won 1-0. But had that goal been allowed, it would have been 1-0 half-time with another 45 minutes to play. So in actual fact, we would never have ever known what would have happened. And the likelihood of that game finishing 1-0 would have been quite remote in my view.
Yeah,
but
United would have won 3-0.
Well, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But to say it was definitely going to be a 1-0 finish is something we'll never ever know. But it makes a story, doesn't it?
Yeah, we don't know. But the form of the two teams prior to the lockdown would suggest that United would have won it 1-0 or maybe more.
Yeah,
so
Got a goal in.
Yeah, yes, but Paul the Biscuit.
I think it also derailed United's season as well.
Yeah,
Yes, I
They've
do.
had a lot of momentum coming out of that game.
Yeah.
Yep.
As it was, they lost the next two, and it took them a while.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. They never got it back, really.
No, they didn't.
90% psychology.
Chelsea
at
won't
that
agree
level
with
of
that.
football. 90% between the ears.
It is. Yeah, you're right.
I think United would have won by more than one because Villa would have been pressing, leaving
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got them on the break.
the bike.
Yeah.
But good luck to Bournemouth.
Just about to bowl the first over. Ball by ball commentary if you want it.
So,
Just the wickets.
yes, well, anyway, well,
Just the
come on.
wickets, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, just the wickets.
In defeating Sampdoria 2-0 last Sunday, Juventus won a 9th successive Serie A title. Maurizio Sarri's side are the only team to win 9 consecutive titles in one of Europe's top 5 leagues. It extends their own record, which Bayern Munich had matched in June when they won the Bundesliga. Now, both Sheffield teams had disappointing endings to the season, with United losing their last 3 games and Wednesday losing 2 out of their last 3. And yesterday, Jurgen Klopp was voted Football Managers Association Manager of the Year, which is no surprise. I'll not mention to John who won the Championship Manager of the Year.
The Championship? Well, go on, mention it to me.
Leeds.
Oh, Leeds manager, Bielsa.
Bielsa.
Dirty
Yeah.
Leeds manager.
Yeah, probably deserved it. Like Chris Wilder deserved to be at least second in the Premiership one.
He got an accolade, fair enough, on Match of the Day. They picked him out as probably one of the unsung managers of the year. He's done a good job.
I think he did finish second in the voting, didn't he? Wilder. Yeah.
Susan, you're looking a bit fuzzy.
Fuzzy?
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I saw in one of the papers, apparently they've done a points per pound ratio on all the teams in the Premier Division started. And apparently United's 54 points for the amount of money that they spent is by far the best return.
They were miles ahead.
Miles.
Yeah. The trick will be, can he do it next season? He's a great manager. Can he do it next season with a bit more money to spend?
You did right.
Well, my concern's up front now, scoring goals. That's their problem.
They have no money.
United. Just finish off. Now, United had their highest finish of 9th in the top division since 1975. Now, can anybody tell me where they came in 1975 and who was the manager?
6th.
6th.
6.
Yes, 6 is correct.
Ken Furphy.
Ken Furphy is correct. That is the end of the news. I'll hand you back to Keith.
And what's their highest position since the war?
5th.
5th. Yeah.
Good.
Beat
John
Wednesday
Harris.
by 1 place.
Yeah. Right. Thank you, Lol.
Okay.
Hello.
Right, we've got about just over 8
3/4 minutes
to go. So we're going to start the second session with Chris's next instalment. So has anybody got anything that they want to advise us with for the next 8 minutes, or has anybody got a quick quiz?
I've got some quiz questions.
Have you donated to the Ruth Strauss Foundation?
What's that, Ian?
The test match that's being held at the moment is raising funds for, I think it's called the Ruth Strauss, Andrew Strauss's late wife's foundation. She suffered non-smoking lung cancer. So, oh, we've got a wicket. There's a wicket from Broad.
500 wickets then.
No, is it? Just a minute. Just a minute.
Oh,
A minute referral.
No, it's not a wicket.
we don't want any fake news here.
VAR.
But no, the Ruth Strauss Foundation, I'm not really doing it justice, but unfortunately, within a month, I think she lost her life through
It's all right, and we're doing a wicket.
cancer.
It's all right, somebody's got television on here. And it's, oh, we've got a wicket.
Go on, Chris. Your show.
You're absolutely right, Nick. The first day was the first day of the England-Australia game last summer at Lord's, where the two teams came out, gave it full justice. Andrew Strauss's two boys rang the bell to start the game, and it raised, I think, a shade under £500,000 on the day. And even with no crowd, this game has raised a similar amount.
400
It's up
to about 600 now.
It's
I remember now.
Right, well, it's a
469,000
tremendous
at the
achievement.
moment.
It's a tremendous achievement, and a very sad thing, but a good thing's come out of it. But very tragically sad.
They're selling red caps. They all wore red caps. Both teams wore red caps, and the whole test match, you've got to wear something red if you want to attend, like a commentator, what have you. And they've just put it up on the board sheet. They've raised £469,400, so it's very close to 470,000, and it's brilliant.
All the biscuit.
I was just going to say it's a similar idea to and a little bit of a copy, but that sort of denigrates it a little bit. And what happened with Glenn McGrath's wife? They did a similar thing in Australia for Glenn McGrath's wife.
But it's all the more important now with coronavirus, when all the charities are struggling in raising funds. So it's good stuff.
It is.
Yeah. Right, John, you've got a few questions.
Yeah, they were bought for me for Christmas in about 1947, so they might be a bit out of date now. But I'll give them a go anyway.
This should be good for us then.
Aye. Who was the first person to hold the world and Olympic titles at 100 metres and 200 metres at the same time?
Jesse James.
Jesse Owen.
Jesse James.
Jesse James.
Yeah, he could run fast as well. He had to.
Carl Lewis.
No,
Valerie
Maurice.
Valerie Boats.
Carl Lewis.
Maurice.
Oh, Usain Bolt.
Yeah, Usain Bolt. Which speedway star was known as the Great Dane?
Not Ivan Major.
Ivan Major.
Not Ivan Major. Not Archie Moore either.
Ollie.
Ollie?
Oh.
Ollie,
Ole.
Shut up, Keith. The man's thinking. Ollie. Oh.
Solskjaer.
Half a point.
Olsen.
That's it. Well thought. Wally Olsen. Every Easter Monday since 1963, competitors have gathered in Yorkshire to see who can carry what for just over 1 kilometre in the fastest time.
Cole. His wife.
The wife.
Whose wife?
Isn't it
Yes,
the wife?
Cole. For which club did Pele play for most of his career?
Santos.
Santos. Darrell Russell and Pete Robinson were killed whilst competing in which sport?
Motorcycling.
It's close, Ron. Close,
Boxing.
bit niche. It's a bit niche. When I think of this, I think Santa Pod.
Drag racing.
Drag racing. I always used to think Santa Pod were in California, Britain. Is it? It's here somewhere.
It's in Leicester.
When I think of Paul O'Grady. But that's a different...
I thought it's where... Isn't that where Father Christmas lives?
That's true, Keith. Yeah.
You still believe, Keith?
And in Big Paul's case, it would be Santa Plod, wouldn't it? In 2006, Switzerland broke 3 World Cup final records. Name one. 2006, Switzerland broke 3 World Cup final records. Name one or name them all if you can.
Score a goal.
Yeah.
Fewest goals.
No. Well, no. The lowest ranked team to win the group.
Ah.
Yeah. Or the first team to miss all penalties in a penalty shootout. The first team to exit the finals without conceding any goals in the first and second round.
Yeah.
There you go.
Nice one.
Do you want any more?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Half a dozen more. How many medal events were there at the 2012 Paralympics Games in London? 2012 Paralympics, how many medal events?
50.
No, it's a lot.
200.
A lot.
1,000.
No, half of that lot.
200.
500.
503. What is the best possible score in 10-pin bowling?
300.
300.
Have any of us ever got 300
300.
10-pin bowling?
Yes.
Yeah, but
I've got
but then I
3.
woke up.
You've got 3. Yeah.
Keith will have.
Then I
Very
woke
good.
up.
Very good, Keith. Very good.
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
My son got it on the Wii.
On
I
the
did,
Wii.
but then I woke up.
I once went with a birthday,
Yeah.
and he says, "Shall we go 10-pin bowling?" I said, "Well, I'm been for ages." So we started, and
And you did it overarm.
he wasn't very good, to say the least.
Less than
But
a
the
minute.
first three that I set down all got strikes, and he just said, "You're winding me up here." I went, "No, I haven't played for years," but I went back to normal after that.
Yeah. I think most of your reminiscences are drug fueled, Keith.
I know. Right, less than a minute, so let's
No,
shut
one
this
last-
down.
One
No,
last
no.
question.
No, we haven't
No.
got time, John. We're losing
Oh.
Can
it.
I do this
no.
beginning at next one? One question, next
Yeah.
next one.
Yeah.
Stop recording.